You serious?
Plenty of ways to kill some time out there. Right now, you're killing some time with I, Marcus Bronzy.
And me, Funk Butcher.
That's right, baby. That's right. Just checking me press record. Don't want to make that mistake.
Yes.
Again.
Another one.
Another flop. So hopefully by now, if you're UK based, you've registered to vote.
Yes. If not, naughty. Don't be
Yeah.
complaining.
Yeah, don't be complaining. Well,
Shut your mouth.
yeah, you know what? Actually, this isn't a politics show per se, but like,
What politics is everywhere?
yeah, exactly. Oh gosh, definitely this time around. But like, it's quite interesting to see how many young people are talking about voting on social media. Though,
Yeah.
like, it's one of those. I feel like I've never seen such young encouragement on social media, not just in my Facebook feed, which I know is heavily edited by Facebook, cheers for that, mate, but on Twitter as well. Like, what are your thoughts on the, like, you should have registered by now.
Yeah.
What's Funk's top 5 voting tips?
I don't have 5. But the world's eyes are on us now. I mean, last year the world's eyes were on America, obviously, with Trump. Couple weeks back, there was on France. There was this kind of similar dynamic of who's going to win.
Can we just quickly digress? So the new Prime Minister of France, yeah, let me get this right.
I know
His wifey was his school teacher.
Yeah. I said you got to rate that, man. That consistency. He played the long game. He was just like, it's okay. You can.
She probably said something. He probably said a cheeky comment like, "Hi, miss. Like, I'd love to take you for a drink." She's like, "Yeah, maybe when you're the president when you're the prime minister of France." And he went, "Challenge accepted." Say no more, fam.
He was like, bon.
Yeah, bon, oui. Wow.
And then obviously now the world's eyes are on the UK with a similar dynamic between the left and the right, two very different candidates and what they stand for. And within that, because the way politics is played out so much within the social media, and it's a very young forum, the youth are kind of being mobilized to do the will of the kind of the older generation. I think it's more a case of the older generation, and I say older in inverted commas, can't see my hands, but it's older is basically anyone from 30 upwards, kind of
from 13 upwards.
Yeah,
yeah, 30 upwards. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of realizing that their best choice, their best hope is if the young people of 18 to 25 kind of utilize their vote. I mean, last time around, I think the figure was like 15 million people didn't vote in the last general election. So they're trying to get those people to come out of hiding.
So if the young people that didn't vote last time round voted last time round, they could have by themselves had enough power to flip the switch.
Yeah,
like they could have gone any way.
Oh, definitely.
They could have changed politics.
Yeah.
But what I do, like, I don't want to obviously dwell on this too long, but I just want to say, Funk, like, I find it really crazy, like, how many people use social media as their sort of spot for getting their knowledge for voting. Like, I've just got one piece of advice, and that's like, go and read the fucking party politics.
Yeah.
Read the party you don't like, because you've heard shit about them as well. Like, read their shit.
Yeah.
Read the one that you do like shit. Read another party.
Yeah.
Like read the top 5 parties, because one of them's gonna win.
Yeah.
And then make your decision.
I think the dangerous thing is, even with for a lot of young people, is that they're reading the manifesto through the lens of some of the media broadcasters who are putting their spin on it.
Yeah, I could pick a sentence out that's fucked. I could pick a sentence out. I could take the words that we say in this show, chop them up like this guy called Cassette Boy does on YouTube, and we could be doing. We've seen videos of like Donald Trump and friggin' Obama singing tunes that they've never sang before.
Yeah.
You can say can be done with words. So have a little read. Anyway, should we move on from politics? Quick killer bit actually. We got this game called Double. Sent in. Double. And we played Double. It's basically a game of speed, observation, and reflexes. Basically a new and improved version of Snap. You're given these 55 cards, which are circular cards. Quite interesting, circular cards. And every card has an image, one matching image with another card, and you just play various games of Snap. So it's like sort of first to get rid of their cards, first to pick up all the cards. Double. Had a bit of fun with it. It's good. Check it out. I'll put a link to it in the show's description. So, Funk, I found a very funny post on your Facebook today.
One of many.
One of many. And basically, it said on the post. In fact, can you just talk us through what this means, what it says, and what it means?
Okay, so from a website called the Tricordist, and it's basically like a website which is for music geeks and looks into the analytics of music, and just go straight into the byline. Yeah, the byline says a songwriter, and just to break that down, that constitutes someone who produces a track, whether it's making the beats and noise or actually writes the lyrics, kind of thing. So some people's understanding of a songwriter is someone who writes the words of it, but you're actually a writer of a song if you build the noise, the sound also. So a songwriter, wait for it, would need 288 million spins, wait for it again, to equal the average Spotify employee salary. This is just insane. Like,
sorry, can I hear that number again? That's the sort of number that's like a punch in the throat.
Let's reload that. Let's rewind. Woo! A songwriter would need 288 million spins, not 288 spins, 288 million spins to equal the average Spotify employee salary.
Apart from the obvious fact,
yeah,
of you needing a lot of spins to earn a salary,
yeah,
what is the average salary?
So, this is based on Spotify just posting their financials.
Oh, they have to now, don't they? They're that big.
Yeah, exactly. And so Paul Raznikov at Digital Music News was quick to point out that the average Spotify employee salary is $168,747.
Right. That's all right, actually. That's all right.
Of course it is.
That's very all right.
That's better than all right.
Wow.
So the average Spotify is...
Let's do that in pounds.
The average Spotify employee salary... Remember, Spotify's not a big company, so...
That's 130 grand a year, in pounds.
So there's a lot of six-figure employees walking around in that company.
Right.
But it's quite perverse how a company which is essentially the middleman, the aggregator of music, and their employees still make more than the people who are providing the actual product.
Wow. Because I was going to say, like, so obviously, they're paying out a lot of money to the people that use Spotify, but to the artists that use Spotify, but you're saying no. So how much is it? So per spin, it's 0.000. Is it like, so per spin you get a ridiculously small amount?
Yeah. I mean, it works out of $1.
Yeah.
0.00058.
What?
And it's just, I mean, I've said this before on social media and in kind of other private conversations that the model of how music is commodified has been broken for years. Because of numerous technological advances where we've moved from physical to MP3 and whatnot. Talking of MP3, the patent for that recently announced that they're knocking it on the head.
Basically they're you know what, they're trying to jerk move. Basically, they've lost the license for it. It ain't going anywhere, bro. And they're like, MP3's over. Nah, not yet, mate.
Yeah, in
a few years' time.
But
anyway, sorry, we digressed. Yeah,
but I mean, what they're basically saying is that the use of MP3 is not as abundant as it was before anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess that's just them kind of their disclaimer of.
I reckon they're rich out.
Yeah, of course
you lost that license. You lost that license, babe. You can't walk in and say, "Hey, I made the MP3. Pay me." But anyway, back to Spotify. So they're paying less.
Yeah.
To the people that create the service that pays them,
but their staff are earning more.
Okay. Now, it's interesting because with Spotify, frankly, I feel like they were lucky.
Yeah.
Because it could have been anyone. It could have been anyone. Because I remember you back in the day, Spotify. I remember when you first came onto these streets, shaking your hat with loads of loads of karaoke versions of rap tunes. I remember those. Yeah, I remember those days when you had tunes that sounded suspiciously close to the real actual songs.
Yeah,
I remember you before Premium.
Yeah,
way back. Yeah. So they were at one point. They were a service that was like free to use for everyone.
They were only big in Scandinavia.
Yeah, and they weren't really an actual distributor, but as people's use of their devices changed and they looked to streaming, and obviously YouTube done the videos for them, but they couldn't playlist stuff. Spotify came along with I don't think it was a perfect interface. I'm used to it now. I like it now. I'm cool with it. They came along with a service. They started, you could share playlists. They started curating for you as well, and it just so happens to be they're one of the go-to people for it. So for somebody who hit quite lucky with it, good timing, whatever. I mean, I'm not saying they ain't worked on their campaigns. For them to pay so little out to artists is a shame. And is it possible, or can they just keep on doing that? Because I thought it was like per million plays you got about $5,000, but it's like only £500 or £600 now. Is it possible for the music community to say no, you can't play our songs anymore? Could that cripple Spotify? Is that possible, or they're too big now? You can't fight back. Because I feel sorry for me. I'm not a producer of music, but I feel like if you make something so that only people that are middle class basically and upwards can afford to do it, that's not fair.
Yeah,
that's why you see so many middle class and actors, and like, because, and this is just a fact of life, like, and the people no, whatever, Marcus, like, the reason there's an abundance of middle class actors is because they can afford to continue auditioning, flopping, auditioning, do more auditions than somebody who has to hold down a full-time job around their work. I was trying to explain this to someone the other day. I don't want to get too deep, but I was saying a more privileged person in terms of finance or whatever will always have better chances. Like, you could have two people that work just as hard as each other, but the person that has more time to study, for example, at uni, is going to get better results if they haven't got to hold down a side job, for example. So now, are we going to start seeing... we digress from my question. I'll ask you that question after. So, is it possible for the music industry to say, nah, Spotify, no?
I can't see it. And the reason I can't see it is because the music industry is run by those very same people that you speak of, who are well-to-do, from a better socio-economic background. And for them, they're always going to look at the bigger picture of that. This is a great business opportunity. And the fact now that if they remove themselves from the Spotify model, the Tidal model, the Apple Music model, the physical music isn't selling anyway. They would have to flog the hell out of the 360 deals to kind of accrue that much revenue from their acts. Remember, this is a situation that can only be fought from the majors anyway. The independents, where we don't have as enough clout to actually walk into a situation with Spotify and say, hey, you're not playing our stuff. It's like, okay, we don't make much money from you anyway. Like, literally, we could take off all the indie acts off of our platforms, and we'd be all right with the Taylor Swifts of the world and the Katy Perrys. So unless those major labels start playing hardball, which they won't, because the future is streaming, we've come too far down that road.
Okay.
The problem is that the numbers that they went in initially were so soft that it's like that situation where you go in too low on a bid and you say, oh, I'll buy your car for you. How much for? £50. Oh, 50's lovely. Shit, I should have said £500 kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like whatever they negotiated early doors in terms of
what they pay the artists per play.
Yeah.
It's too low.
It was way too low.
Okay. So me, as a lover of music, also a Spotify Premium member, what can I do to support my artist then if me just playing their tunes ain't enough?
I think from an artist perspective, it's difficult because artists want to attach themselves to the largest market, and you will do that through the window spaces of the Spotifys, the Tidals, the Apple Music. But essentially, it would involve a leap of faith, a leap of confidence, and putting your stuff maybe on independent sites like Bandcamp, where you can set your own price range, or running it independently off your own website, and then hoping, fingers, toes, eyes crossed, that your audience and your fan base follows you there.
What else can I do though? To say I like an artist, say I'd like J Hus, yeah, UK artist. I'm streaming his stuff. What can I do to support that artist then in another way? What can we, the listener, do?
It's very difficult because I mean,
if I just give him a $5 when I see him, is that what I do?
The thing
is,
$10. Yeah, you have to just like, here, hold this.
Hold this.
What are you doing? Just push the money into his pocket.
So just tip them.
Yeah,
when you see them. Okay, cool.
But I mean, it's incredibly difficult because you don't know what kind of deal that they're tied into. So essentially, if you're saying you're not going to stream their stuff, but you're going to buy their T-shirt, if they are tied into a 360 deal, then the label is still getting a percentage of that money anyway. So it is very difficult.
All right. So cash tip.
Yeah.
So when you see your next favorite artist wearing loads of fancy clothes, in a fancy ass restaurant, I should go up to them and give them a little $5.
Yeah, just
bit of change.
You give them
have a whip round.
Yeah, you give them a $5 with a little note and says, "Don't tell the Inland Revenue."
Or the labels.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorted. So 268 million plays to make some money.
Million spins.
That is mad. So Google Assistant is something that we'd be ready for use or ready to use on Google devices, right? Got some news for you, Punk.
Okay.
When you compare it to Siri, though, would you say that Google is said to be a bit more powerful? So you can talk to it a bit more like in a normal way, can't you?
Yeah.
Like, hey Google, like, even though we had to in the enemy. It allows you to ask slightly more complicated questions, and like, when you've got things like, we're NVIDIA Shield users here. And on Android device, you'd be like, "Hey, find me a Netflix film find me something on Netflix that's from the '80s or has an '80s vibe to it," and it'd be like, "Try Stranger Things." Remember a little while back we said Alexa was hopping onto iPhones, and Amazon have crowbarred away in via their Amazon app. Android, aka Google, them brothers. Have managed to slide on to the iPhone, so you can now get Google Assist on the iPhone, bro. It's coming.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
I just want to say, for starters, this is savage, bro. Yeah. This is savage. I mean, this was
can't knock the hustle.
Yeah, so they're bringing Google Assistant to iPhones. So I've not used it yet. I will be at some point. But yeah, Google Assistant to iPhones, bruv. I'm very excited. What are your thoughts on this? Is this war, or is this something that's cute?
Who was the guy that it was the Uber guy that got a little bit of a slap down from the head of Apple last couple of months back, innit?
Tim Cook called him in.
Yeah, I feel like Tim Cook is gonna have to do this with the Google exec, because they're encroaching a little bit. This reminds me of Boardwalk Empire, and you had your different your different head honchos of Chicago, New York, and whatever. I think Boston was in there or something like that, and they always got to a stage where they had to kind of come across a bit Machiavellian, because people were pushing it a little bit, and Tim's done it once. He might have to do it again. I feel like they're encroaching in territories where this is you. Tim Cook has to do the most diplomatic and, I guess, Silicon Valley version of sending a finger in the post. Like this, that's what it's got to. Like Tim Cook needs to let the message be known that we are Apple, motherfuckers. We have more money than the US government. Don't you ever think you can slide in through the back door? You saw what we done to Uber. We put the scares to them
when Uber were tracking people.
Yeah, when Uber were tracking people, they were putting up the devices to kind of shield their operations away from our staff, and we found out. So I feel like Tim has to kind of like put his foot down again, man, because it doesn't seem like there's any real intent there, but it does seem like Google are playing mind games.
Yeah, I mean, and I suppose they couldn't really Apple couldn't say no, you can't use. Could they have refused it ever? Do you think?
Maybe not under competition laws.
Right. Because I suppose so. But then, do you think we'll ever see Siri on Android devices?
It would have to work both ways, but I think the way the competition laws are set up so that no company can put things in place which enables them to have a monopoly. They have to open their doors to anyone and everyone, even if it looks like an encroaching competitor. So, but yeah, this is battleships. That's what this is. This is battleships, and Google are they're yanking their chain.
So yeah, but we'll see how it goes, because apparently they're saying you can use it to find photos by asking, use it to play music, ask it for directions, manage your day, control your home. So they're really like, this is their way of putting Android into iPhone, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's going to be very interesting moving forward from that. Indeed, Funk. Funk, I don't know if we should speak about this in the next episode. Are you a fan of The Sims?
I'm a fan of the brand. Yeah.
Would you say you're up on The Sims, or should we ask work experience Molly?
Yeah.
We'll ask Molly in the next episode. All right. There's plenty of ways to kill some time out there. Thank you for killing some time with us. I've just started downloading Google Assistant. It's not available in the UK. Should we hold on and have a go?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just do some filling?
So you're hacking into what the US version of iTunes to get this?
Huh? Meet Google Assistant.
So it's actually available on the iPhone's store now. I mean, yeah, Tim Cook needs to make this call.
In America.
But which will soon be rolled out globally if it's successful.
Okay.
And there's a demand there.
I'm in.
And the thing is,
I'm a Google Assistant.
If there's a demand there, then Google can legitimately say that this is a good business move for...
So, how can I help?
Wait a moment, please. One sec. Yeah, go on. Sorry, Funk.
Yeah, no, saying that Google can legitimately canvas for a wider market share by saying to Apple, look, this is good business. But initially getting their foot in the door wasn't the most... They didn't do it in the most savoury way.
But now they're in.
Yeah.
Right. What happened to Siri?
Here's a result from the web.
Who's better, you or Siri?
It's hard to compare. We're like apples and oranges. Because Siri works for Apple, and I like oranges.
Ooh. Oh, I've got to say, the voice recognition is good. You're on the other side of the room and it picks you up.
Yeah.
Like, you're on the other side of the room and... Okay. Right. What sort of things can you do?
Here's what I found.
Okay, it's not that good. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so anyway, Google is now on Apple.
Okay.
Apple needs to strike back with some Siri for iPhone. Apple needs to step it up with Siri, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, plenty of ways to kill some time out there. Thank you for killing some time with us. I have been the Marcus to the Bronzy.
And I've been Funk to the Butcher.
Stay blessed.